It's ADSN on the beat, where the data meets the street. James and Daniel in your feed, breaking down the code you need. Tech talk, ad game, and a little AI. Every week we got the chat on ADSN.
Super excited to welcome Julia Knight today on the podcast. Julia Knight runs Night Vision, which is a consultancy for marketing, brand, kind of all the things for startups and big companies. And Julia, I follow your newsletter weekly and religiously. And I love kind of how you put it, that you live between Gen Z chaos and millennial strategy. Like that to me is like the tagline of the moment for everyone. So super excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I love that you're religiously is a great, that's like a very good compliment. I like that.
It literally happens though. Like you'll be surprised how many times I get on meetings with founders and they'll preface this by saying, I feel like I know you and I'm understanding right now that you don't know me. And every time I'm like, it's okay. It's all good. Like I love that. Like it's fine because my newsletter has personal stuff in it as well. And
I know
it's
all
really
about your trip to Austin through New York. I know it all. Yeah. It's
exactly. No, this happens all the time. So seriously, it's like not a big deal. And I love it. Like this is how you build trust with people. And I want people when they enter my world through Night Vision to understand my personality because that's who I am as a leader, especially as a marketing leader. And it makes for the best fit possible between like a CMO and a client.
Yeah. Yeah. And before we started recording, actually, you were telling me about how you're really accelerating the growth of the business using Claude and using all these various tools and amplifying yourself, but also your team. Like, let's get into that. Like, how are you using Claude to build this business of yours?
That's a really good question. So for context, like I spent pretty much all of Q1 doing all of our sales. So I was like completely focused on top of funnel for the business, new clients, etc. This quarter, I decided to focus on all of our infrastructure. And it literally led to me rebuilding the entire company with Claude, which as one naturally does these days. So I rebuilt myself every single workflow we have. Everything is now being powered through Claude on the creative production side with connectors. And I have actually hired people to literally fulfill the specific workflows I built. It was way faster than I thought it was going to originally be. It took me like 3 weeks to condense about 5 different people's roles into one role through Claude. And we're going to be able to service our clients so much better. What this looks like on the output side is an extremely high volume of content for each brand that has a ton of insights that go into it. Whether it's the UGC script or the static image, this is now like highly, highly informed. And I have an amazing creative director who's overseeing this workflow now. I actually onboarded her Monday, and it's really exciting stuff.
It's crazy. Do you find like we've had this sort of debate internally about like, once you have all the connectors up, do you know, like, is the creative director, is she just in Claude or are they actually going to different UIs? Is everything collapsed into Claude at this point?
No. And it also depends on like how many tokens I want to use and if I want to spend tokens on the connector or if I feel like they need to originate from Claude. Like I feel like a lot of times it's really smart to have the project start from Claude because it'll pull from all the different data sources that we're religiously updating. So Claude has the most accurate information. But then once the connector kind of comes into play, it's really where someone can be more creative. I'm also talking specifically right now about like UGC scripts, statics, and videos. And once the connectors kind of come into play, I feel like those sources are the best place for my team to kind of riff. Because I don't know, I feel like it is. That's the workflow I have right now because Claude, I think, is a great starting point for all of like the knowledge-based context, and then it'll spit out what's good. And we can go from there. That's what I'm kind of liking. Yeah. And sorry, for context, I don't think I gave context on what like Night Vision does.
Oh, sorry.
So we're a marketing agency. We do 3 things really well right now. So we do all paid ad growth programs. We'll run all of your growth via like Meta, TikTok, LinkedIn, Google Ads. We'll build all the creative for you. So statics, videos, UGC content. And then we'll also broker creator partnership programs. So building these from the ground up. These are typically B2B programs based on the ICP ICP of the company, and we'll find creators that really speak and have audiences concentrated with your ICP. We've done this for Beehive. Most recently, it's been incredibly successful.
And
Yeah,
big
Beehive stuff is
Beehive
so
fans
well
over
done.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty amazing. Is on the growth side, are you seeing, I mean, is it all pretty obvious? It's like Meta's working. Like, is there any like secret that you've seen, like any channel that's coming up that you're kind of surprised by?
It's not like so much the channels that are coming up that I'm surprised by, but I really feel like over the next year, the type of content that's being fed to Meta specifically is really going to change. Like once everyone can 10x, 100x the output of content they're making with these new types of tools, essentially like the signals, because Meta's algorithm like runs on the content, right? Like content is, it really informs the algorithm now versus like 10 years ago, maybe you were toggling things on and off to recommend to Meta who to send your audience, who to send the content to. And now it's like actually quite different where the content informs and then we start really broad. So that's our strategy. And I think the volume that brands are going to be able to produce and agencies are going to be able to produce is like going to be 10x. And for context, like 4 years ago at Citizen, I built this insane marketing engine. We were doing over 100 UGC videos a month to Meta and over 3,000 videos a month organically on social media. That engine's still running today and does 100 million views online. And I mean, I think that this is going to be even more possible for other brands to access because you're going to be able to make a lot more high quality content more efficiently.
I mean, that's, those are insane numbers, and it's obviously going to increase. But I'm curious, like, because you're doing creator programs and you're doing kind of the more traditional kind of paid ads and doing the creative generation, like, what are you seeing the split between creative through, creators or influencers or partner ads versus maybe brand owned static videos, carousels, and how does that shift going to happen over time?
That's a really good question. So I think that it really depends on like what the brand's budget is. These creator programs they're not cheap. These are expensive programs that really start at about $100,000. That's for you to have multiple points of contact with a creator's audience. Like you don't want to just buy one video. You really want to develop a true authentic relationship with the creator where they're also using your software and talking about it, whether it's in a newsletter, a podcast, a LinkedIn post, a YouTube video, where they're really authentically using this product. And that's the type of program that we build. And these are for high quality B2B brands who want to invest in creators that have audiences filled with their ICP and want these touch points over time. Now, the challenge with these programs is the attribution doesn't look the same as a traditional paid ad where, when you run paid ads, you are paying for a sense of security. You're paying for attribution for a full funnel. For creator programs, that doesn't work like that. So you need to be comfortable as a brand investing money into programs where perhaps it's a halo effect on the brand and you see a lot of organic mentions go up. Maybe, you can't track that creator A, had touch point here, creator B had a touch point here, but then your first click from the user was from like touch point C. And then that touch point C is going to be where, something's attributed. So it just requires like a different type of mindset to build these programs and a different level of comfort and a different level of spend. But they're highly recommended. I always say it's great for people who want to pair it on to maybe a smaller scale paid marketing strategy. And what's also great is you can take this content, clip it, and run it in paid ads. So we broker that into every single deal as well. So the content can be reused time and time again, pretty much indefinitely, given your rights on like the length of that.
Is there like a world you see where like you start to build like your own AI creators and like you like start building up audiences for them and like you sort of take this like the stack back in a weird way?
So I actually thought about doing this a year ago and I experimented with it. I saw these like by the way, my style of marketing is like very viral. And I always tell people this is just like my style. I go very edgy. I go very viral. I go very relatable. I push brands to think and really get to that edge of brand guideline. Like a really good example is Boom Pop, where we're doing some really fun content with them, and they redid their brand over the last year. This amazing brand marketer there, Marielle, worked with the co-founders Blake and Haley, and you just need to push the brand limits. And what I think will eventually happen. So back to the original question, which is, what am I going to build an AI influencer or creator? I tried to do this a year ago when I saw these really edgy, like, I think there's one called like Burnout Barbie, and she like has like now multiple hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram. And it's like for sure an AI studio just building this insane content. There's one with like a grandma. There's one who's like a superhero that like, it's just, you can make all this fun content. It's actually way harder, or at least it was a year ago. I was using like VEO3, right? I think it might be way easier now. That's probably not the direction I'm going to take my company. We actually are already building consumer software products at Night Vision. And so that's more of the direction I'll take my agency.
What kind of products are you building?
So I'm really close with like all my friends from the Citizen team still. We have amazing co-working relationships, and we're building basically consumer apps that connect with ChatGPT and Claude and help people connect in like a way more authentic way. And we're really excited about that. It's like a little hard to share the information now because the product is like not quite ready, but we've been working on it for probably a month at this point, and it's literally insane. Like we have one product coming out soon, and then soon as in like the next, like I would say 10 weeks, I want to bring this to market. I have 2 products that I'm teed up to immediately build after. And so my marketing agency hopefully will be this engine where I can really bring together the builders who I've met over my career, and we can spin out these products. And we are doing that. I remember when I showed the first product to my like mentor, I met her at Citizen. Her name's Yael Cohen Braun. She started the charity Fuck Cancer and is an incredibly successful entrepreneur, sold a company to Bumble. She's like, I consider her just like an absolute bestie, like soul sister, like literally she's going to be in my life forever. I showed her one of the first products I built with someone I'm building it with, and she was like, oh my God, this is insane. So
awesome.
It's going to be crazy.
Fun.
Yeah, this is the vision, at least. This is the vision.
And I'm so curious, like you building these products, you building Night Vision, you're obviously helping a lot of these companies build similar brand personalities and content engines. One of the big things that we're seeing, right, is like B2B influencers. So founders as influencers, CMOs as influencers. You obviously have a newsletter. Like, where is that trend going? And are you jumping in that, like personally, for Night Vision and like doing some of that? Yeah.
I mean, I would consider myself already being in it, well within it, right? I think a successful B2B influencer is someone who shares content about their career that people want to read and can adapt and learn things from. And I would say, like, if you think about the scale of B2C influencers, like a hot girly on TikTok or whatever, selling stuff that goes to her like link in bio with an Amazon affiliate, something that is like at a scale 10. Like we're max there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I would say when you compare the market of B2B influencers compared to the market of B2C influencers, we're like at 0.5, right? If we're saying that B2C is at like 10, B2B is like literally at 0.5. Like this is just starting. It's literally just starting. And I can tell you that because I do these deals all day long. And so I know the market really well. I know these incredible personalities and influencers and the content they make. And it's literally just starting off. There's so much headroom here. There's so much opportunity, not just with the market as a whole, but when you think about each individual vertical, and then even break that down even more, right? There's a ton of specialties that people have, and this content is fascinating and just only growing. And you can see the acquisitions are already starting to happen. Most recently OpenAI acquired like a really popular podcast, TBPN, and
we're like a kind of shameless TBPN.
Yeah. You are. Yeah. That's totally fair. I have another friend, Warner Bailey, who does Agents versus Assistants, and that's for the entertainment industry. He's fantastic as well. So these media companies that B2B creators are building have true value. And I think we're only at the beginning.
Yeah. And it's also like, it's funny. Like, obviously we're trying to do it like in our own little way, but like, it's also just really like intellectually stimulating. It's like fun. Like, I feel like I have friends who are like, what are you doing creating all this content? I was like, it's actually like, it's a weird muscle to start doing, but like, this is such a better morning than me like sitting on X, just like.
Well, then we get to talk to you. Like, I don't know, we wouldn't have talked to you otherwise. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah. You said something that you said like your style is viral. And I'll say like, before we started recording, I was telling you, I've like started building these like random Claude games like at night where like literally my wife is like, you gotta get out of the room. It's like 11 o'clock and I'm sitting here making these stupid games. But like I've been in ads my whole life. I've like always been on the paid side. And like part of the reason why I started building sort of these games now is this like, how would I actually get distribution if I didn't have a big budget? And so like, it's really hard to be viral. Like I've tried every little trick I can. Like, so like when you say your style is viral, do you think that's like, tell us more about what that means to you and like, how could anyone learn from that in particular?
Yeah.
As I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
For sure. This was something I like experimented and found about me. I think every marketer has their own style. Every leader at a company has their own style of communication as well. This just happens to be the style of marketing that has worked really well for me. I've generated billions of views online doing this. And I can't say it was like kind of an accident, but it just like kind of happened. So viral marketing is edgy, high volume content that you rip and post all day long. Posting content is just taking shots on goal. The more shots on goal you can give yourself, the more opportunities you have to generate views and the more learnings you can take from existing content and recreate it and just keep going.
And for you, like, but for you, like in particular, are you just like, have you gotten to the point now where like every day, like you just are establishing this muscle where like, I'm going to post 15 times. Like how are you, like, is there like a little bit of a playbook to take from it? Or is it just more instinctual?
No, there's definitely a playbook to take from it. I actually have detailed the entire playbook in my newsletter, so I can drop the link below for all your friends and listeners. Yeah, I've literally detailed like exactly how I've done this step by step. You need to have the content, you need to have the distribution engine, and you need to do it a lot. And all three pieces need to work. So the massive volume of content, the way that you can get it out to people, are there audiences that are already built that you can hop into? Maybe there are audiences of existing creators or brands you work with that you can collab with and send it out to. How can you like hack that distribution? And then I think the speed is also a very important part. This needs to happen all the time. So at Citizen, we were getting videos all day long in the product, right? We're getting thousands of user videos from across the country on crimes, and people want to know what's going on in their city. So I built an engine that took these thousands of videos and distributed them literally all day long on the internet. And we built a creator program as well. These pages, again, 4 or 5 years ago, were just starting up. So what is New York? Street people of Los Angeles, street people of Beverly Hills. Like, I consider these people now just great friends of mine because we've been working together for so long, but we distributed that content with them. And it the account has over 500,000 followers now. And I'm only like associated with the company now through an advisory role because obviously I'm working on night vision, but that's a great example of a viral distribution system that really, really worked. And we're doing this for a lot of our brands now. These are challenging builds though, because not every brand comes with viral content. And so it's really about how can you make a ton of content with what you have? And that's the starting question.
And I think too, I mean, a lot of the brands that you work with are kind of more nascent businesses, right? They're like young founders or kind of folks that maybe grew up in this environment, grew up professionally in this environment. I think James and I are a little older, so we're like maybe in the middle.
No, you're not.
Like, how do you?
We're all 20. It's fine.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
We're all 20 years
like
old. I'm literally 21. Daniel, please.
Yeah. But like, how do you talk to somebody who's maybe, has a longer, more established career that like is coming with preconceived notions and this muscle has never been developed versus a founder who's like in AI all day, is posting from their personals all day. And like, this is maybe a little more native to them.
It's so incredibly different, the styles of communication with like founders who are really young, like we're talking 20, 21, 22, 23, and founders who are more established. I sit right in the middle, and like you mentioned this before, like quite literally my age is like I'm considered a Gen Z and a millennial. And so I feel like it's a really interesting kind of like place to be at in life because I learned so much from both sets of peers of mine. And the communication styles so vastly different. Like just even the way you talk and text and Slack and speak is just it's beyond different with like a Gen Z founder versus a millennial founder, and you have to adapt. And I like love bridging the gap between the two as well. Like even for creator programs of mine, we have founders who are young, and I have a partnership. Actually, a client of mine is a company called Lightfield. It's a CRM. They're an AI CRM. They're absolutely ripping it. And their ICP are these young startup founders. And I've really had so much fun working with their ICP and also helping the brand connect with them in a really authentic way where they can tell the founders, yes, this is my company. Yes, this is what I do. And they understand the way that these founders share feedback because it's like very interesting, right? Like we're using like acronyms and slang, and like the way that these founders talk is like they just don't give a shit. They truly are just themselves, and all they care about is going fast and crushing it and creating incredible software products. And sometimes that comes across as disruptive to potentially like a more legacy founder. And by no means is that the intention. It's just the way that like their communication style is. So I don't know. I think it's awesome. They're all so talented. These younger founders have taught me so much. I can give an example of like a team called Melius that I'm working with. Incredible team. The way that they speak and communicate is very different than the way other teams do. And they're ripping it. And so good for them.
Are they like, does it make you really bullish on Gen Z? Like, are these kids? Yeah.
Absolutely. These kids are, I mean, I would even call them kids. These are talented startup entrepreneurs who are bringing their vision into the world in faster, better, and more creative ways than not only their like peers in their own age group, but people who have lapped them with decades of experience. And they're coming in and disrupting markets. And I love seeing it. I love being part of it. I'm here for it.
Have you had any success converting boomers into like just like into like Gen Z marketers? Like, have you worked with anyone who's like clearly just like such a different style? Like, you know, like millennials, we were like grew up online. Like, obviously, there's just like a trait, like a different segment as you get older. Like, have you found that like that age range is open to change and like embracing this, or like do you feel like millennials are kind of the top for you?
I have like a few, I mean, I can't say I work with a ton of people in like the boomer generation, but I recently lectured at Columbia Business School, and the professor there is a like boomer entrepreneur. He's sold multiple companies. He was the one who invited me to lecture to his class, and he is beyond open to anything. Like if you're a successful entrepreneur, you have an open mind. Who are we to close our minds to anything? The second you close your mind, like you're unwilling to see what the potential future will be. And I don't want to be around people who have that mindset, to be honest with you.
Are you working with any like, is it primarily early stage kind of venture back founders? Are you doing any like big corporation stuff? Like where's the focus been?
Yeah, so the focus is Series A to Series C founders right now. All software companies, we're vertical agnostic, and we do B2B and B2C. We'll probably start to dabble a little more in consumer this year just because I have people who are joining my team who have incredible consumer experience. Maury Matrani is an example of someone who is like a mentor to me, and he has incredible consumer experience. But yeah, so that's pretty much been the focus. I have a few CMO friends who are running huge companies, and they do follow my newsletter and they do reach out in New York. I just haven't had the infrastructure to kind of take them on, and I really wanted to focus on this core ICP segment for Night Vision. But I definitely foresee at some point in Q3 probably potentially leaning into those bigger companies. There are some really cool ones on my list of founders that have reached out, and CMOs that have reached out. And again, they read my newsletter every week, so I don't even have to do much maintenance on their relationship. It's more of like, when is the timing going to be right for both of us? And they know what I'm up to, so it's really special.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And again, I guess that's a good segue. So before we let you go, like, where can folks follow your newsletter? Where can they learn more about Night Vision?
Yeah, go to my LinkedIn, Julia Knight, and you can follow me there. You can hop into my newsletter there. You can learn all about Night Vision from the links that you'll find directly on my LinkedIn. And I'll also give you guys a link for the description, and you can hop in there as well.
Awesome. Julia, thank you so much for joining.
It's great to see you guys.
James and I are mid-20s again. This is incredible.
Listen, I love it. You're now joining me. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel young. It's awesome. Congrats on everything. Super helpful.
Thank you
awesome.
so much.
Appreciate
And
it.
likewise. Yes.